Hello and welcome to Pellissippi State's virtual preview. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to get logged in and join us, and we will get started in a couple of minutes. So just hang tight and we will get started. All right, we will go ahead and get started with our webinar. I want to thank you all for joining us for tonight's Pellissippi State's virtual preview. My name is Debbie Benedict, and I have Sarah Davis here with me tonight. And we are going to share a little bit about Pellissippi with you guys, and we're excited that you all have joined us tonight. I'm going to go over a few little housekeeping items, and then we will get started. First of all, just want to let you guys know we are recording this tonight. So if there's anything that you missed, or if you want to go back and watch it later, we will send that out to you. So you'll have the recording that you can play back later. So first of all, we're going to start with the presentation, and Sarah's going to do that for us. And then we will have a time for questions and answers at the end. So if you will hold those until the end of the presentation, and then you can submit your questions in the Q&A box that is on your screen. So Sarah, if you'd like to go ahead and get started.
Thank you, Debbie. Hey guys, okay, we're gonna start out with a quick video.
Welcome to Pellissippi State Community College. We're glad you're here. Our personalized approach meets you where you are and helps you determine where you want to go. Whether it's transferring to a four-year institution or transitioning into the workforce after earning your degree, Pellissippi State faculty and staff are with you every step of the way. You may not know this, but Pellissippi State is the largest community college in Tennessee. Students take classes at the Blount County, Hardin Valley, Magnolia Avenue, or Strawberry Plains campuses, or online from the comfort and convenience of their own home. Of course, your experiences don't end at the classroom door. If you like to explore other cultures, we have study abroad opportunities across the globe. You can also work while you attend classes or intern with leading industries and companies in the region. Whatever your interest, at Pellissippi State will help you build the foundation you need to reach your goals.
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Some things that I want to mention about Pellissippi is one, our academics. We have around 100, a little over 100 academic programs right now, and I'll share all those with you all during this presentation. Affordability with the Tennessee Promise and Tennessee Reconnect scholarships. Many of our students attend Pellissippi State tuition free. Job placement and internships. We have a career development office. They work with all of our students on their resume writing, their interview skills, but they particularly work with students going directly into the workforce to help them find employment within their field of study. Convenience, just like the video mentioned, we have four campuses throughout Knox and Blount County. Our student to teacher ratio is very small, about 20 students per instructor. That's the number one reason why I chose Pellissippi for myself. I am a Pellissippi alum. And last but not least is transferability. So if you do want to go on and earn your bachelor's degree, you can transfer from Pellissippi State to almost any of those four-year colleges, 2 years with Pellissippi, 2 years at that four-year college to go get your bachelor's degree. All right, so you can also save money. So our tuition and fees for a full-time student in state for the year is a little over $5,000. And that same full-time status in state at UT Knoxville is almost 14,000. So even by starting out at Pellissippi, if you're not getting Tennessee Promise or Tennessee Reconnect, you're still saving quite a bit of money by starting out those first 2 years at Pellissippi. All right, so at Pellissippi, we do put our programs into two main categories. We have the career programs, which are designed to get you right into the workforce. And then we have the transfer pathways designed to go on to your four-year university. I do like this slide because the classes are very different, whether you're doing career or transfer. On the career side, the bulk of the classes you're taking are going to be your major specific courses. So, for example, accounting, if you're doing accounting as a career program, there's like 11 accounting classes to prepare you to go right into the workforce. However, if you're doing accounting on the transfer side, the bulk of the classes you're taking with us are your general education classes. There's actually only 2 accounting classes in the accounting transfer pathway because when you get to your university, that's as a junior and a senior, that's when you're going to really dive into those major specific courses. All right, I did want to quickly mention dual enrollment. Pellissippi is growing in dual enrollment every year, and it's a fantastic opportunity to get a jump start on your college. Dual enrollment is where you're a high school student taking college classes, and you're getting credit for it in high school and college at the same time. There is a dual enrollment grant that the state of Tennessee pays for. The dual enrollment grant covers the first 5 classes for free, and then classes 6 or after that are at a discounted rate. Okay, so here is a list of all of our career programs. If you are pursuing a career program, you'll be earning an Associate of Applied Science degree, an AAS degree. And we do have some new programs. So what's new this year to Pellissippi is aviation technology, radiologic technology, and surgical technology. And all 3 of those programs are at the Blount County campus. So I do want to let you know that when it comes to the career programs, those are specific to a campus, and not every program is offered at every campus. When it comes to the transfer programs, those can be done pretty much at almost any of our campuses because they're the general education classes. All right, and here is a list of all the transfer pathways. So from accounting to theater arts, we offer the Associate of Art, the Associate of Science, the AFA, the Associate of Fine Art, and then the AST, which is the Associate of Science in Teaching. If you do not see your major listed here and you're wanting to come to Pellissippi those first 2 years, we do offer a General Associate of Arts and a General Associate of Science. Sometimes it has the most electives built into it, so it can be kind of molded into what you need it to be to get the classes that you need to transfer. So for example, I studied city planning at UT Knoxville. We didn't offer a transfer pathway for city planning at Pellissippi, but I still came to Pellissippi and I did the General Associates and did my lower level English, Math, Science, History, got all those classes out of the way before going to UT and starting those city planning classes. All right, so all the programs we just talked about are associate programs. We also offer lots of certificate programs as well. And these programs are much shorter. So our shortest program is around 12 credit hours. Our longest is, I believe, 42 credit hours. And the ones that you see, for the most part, listed on this slide are approved for financial aid. So not all certificates are approved for financial aid. All right, and then we have lots of resources available for our students, so we're going to share some of those with you. when you become a student at Pellissippi, you will get to meet with an academic advisor, and this is one of the best resources that you'll have at Pellissippi. Your academic advisor is the person that you're sitting down with that's going to help you register for classes. They're not only making sure you're taking the correct classes to graduate, but if you're a transfer student, they are making sure you are taking the correct classes to transfer to UT Knoxville or to transfer to Maryville College. Whichever four-year school you end up wanting to go to, they kind of work backwards. They'll start at that four-year school's website and go back to like your freshman, sophomore years to make sure you're taking all those correct classes. We have a team of counselors. They'll do personal counseling, academic and career counseling. And then we have disability services. If you have any accommodations in high school or an IEP plan, you can reach out to disability services here at Pellissippi, and they can set those up for you as well. And the last thing I'll mention on this slide is free tutoring. In our academic support center, we have free tutoring both in person and virtually. We have a math lab and a writing lab, and it's the tutoring center is used a lot by our students. It's a great resource. All right, we have two new offices on our campus, the Start Strong Center and the Stay Strong Center. Stay Strong, I'll talk about first. It is everything you see on this slide. So orientation, and then your success coach is housed in the Stay Strong Center. So every student that starts at Pellissippi is assigned a success coach. That person's checking in with you after classes start to make sure that you are being a successful student at Pellissippi. Maybe they check in with you and you might need tips on being a better test taker or a better note taker. Maybe you need connections to resources that you're not aware that we have. So they're just checking in with you as the semester goes on to make sure you're being a successful student. All right, financial aid. So our financial aid office is part of the Start Strong Center. It is admissions, records, and financial aid all combined into one office. And I'm going to talk about Tennessee Promise and Tennessee Reconnect next, but I do want to mention that we have lots and lots of scholarships that we award every year. And we have one scholarship application for all of the scholarships. So one easy application. That application is available now if you're starting in the spring. If you're starting next fall, that application opens up in March. And the sooner you do it, the better. And that application is in your portal, your My Pellissippi portal, which you'll get access to after you apply. All right, so Tennessee Promise is a last dollar scholarship that will pay tuition and mandatory fees at Pellissippi State for you to earn that associate's degree. This is the Tennessee Promise checklist. So you will do this your senior year in high school. The deadline to apply for TN Promise at tnpromise.gov is always in early November, November 1. And then you do have to complete the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid at studentaid.gov. This year, that deadline is April 1st of 2026 if you're starting next fall. And then there is a mandatory meeting that will be held at your high school by the Tennessee Achieves staff. Tennessee Achieves is a wonderful organization that partners with Tennessee Promise. And they are kind of organized the scholarship, so they're over getting you your mentor. They're the one collecting those community service hours. So you do have to do 16 hours of community service every year that you're in the program. So those first 16 hours would be due August 1st, and you submit that at tnachieves.org. In the upper right corner, there's a on that website, tnachieves.org. All right, Tennessee Reconnect is a little different. It is for the adult learner. You have to be either 23 years old or older or be independent on the FAFSA. So you do have to complete that FAFSA application at studentaid.gov, and then Reconnect's application is at tnreconnect.gov. And you cannot already have a degree. You have to be a Tennessee resident, and Reconnect only requires you to be a part-time student taking 6 credit hours, where the Tennessee Promise requires you to be a full-time student taking 12 credit hours. All right, some more resources that we have are open computer labs at each campus. This is like a giant room with lots of computers for you to do your homework on. You can print your papers in the computer labs, and it's just a quiet place for you to study. That's in our library. Student engagement and leadership. When I think about the student engagement office, they're the fun people on our campus. They're over all of our clubs and organizations. So we have a bunch of different clubs. We have a creative writing club. We have, let's see, a debate team. We have a race car team. It's a Formula SAE race car team. They build this race car every year and race it against other colleges. They hike. There's a hiking club. There's a cycling club. Lots of opportunities. There's a national leadership organization that you can get involved in. And then they do fun things like fall festival, spring fling. We do Pellapalooza sometimes. I mean, lots of different events for you to get involved in. They often set up tables throughout the buildings and give away Pellissippi swag and popcorn, t-shirts, things like that. All right, the Student Rec Center is specific to the Hardin Valley campus, and the Rec Center is it's kind of in the back of the campus, but it does have indoor basketball. There's racquetball courts, tennis, pickleball. There's a big weight room with ellipticals, treadmills, rowing machines, all different kinds of weight equipment. And then they offer a lot of physical education classes such as weight training, fitness for walking, archery. And it's where all of our Pellissippi State athletic teams work out or practice in between. So right now, Pellissippi's fairly new. It's our third year in the world of athletics. So we're very excited about this. We are the Pellissippi Panthers. And everything that you see on this slide is what we currently offer. So baseball, softball, men's and women's basketball, cross country, half marathon, men's golf, women's volleyball, and men's and women's soccer. So if you are interested in joining or becoming a Pellissippi athlete, the website to go to is psccpanthers.com. On that website, I will say that one more time, PSCC for Pellissippi State Community College, psccpanthers.com. There's a Recruit Me button at the top of the website, and it's just your intake information, your contact information, and that puts you in contact with the coach for whatever team you're interested in. All right, so we also have a garden and a pantry. So the Pellissippi Garden is up in the back of the campus up next to the rec center, and it does provide fresh fruits and vegetables for our Pellissippi pantry. The pantry is for any student that needs access to food. So there's just an application in that My Pellissippi portal for the pantry. There's no income limit or requirement for that. And it's a point-based system, so you get points every month. You go shopping in the pantry. They have canned goods, fresh fruits and vegetables, and some toiletries. All right, the arts at Pellissippi. So we do have some amazing art programs. We have an Associate Fine Art and Studio Art, which is like your sculpting, painting, drawing, those types of classes. We have Associate Fine Art in Music. We have lots of different types of music. We have a choir, variations choir. We have a Hardin Valley Thunder, which is our bluegrass band, and lots of different opportunities to travel and also perform with Pellissippi. And last but not least is theater. And so for theater, we have the performing side, and then you can also study design and tech, like the back of the theater part. And it's just a wonderful opportunity. We do have the Clayton Performing Arts Center here at the Hardin Valley campus, and that's where most of our plays or productions are put on. And if you have a student ID, you can either go for free or at a reduced rate at the Clayton Performing Arts Center. All right, study abroad. This is huge, you guys. if you go back, I think it was 2 years ago, Pellissippi State sent more students to study abroad than any other community college in the nation. And I tell you all that so you know how robust our program is. We travel all over the world. We go to Italy, France, Japan. Sometimes we go to the Galapagos Islands. They try to vary up the trips every year so that we're not going to the exact same place every year. And we vary up the classes that are available. So there's English classes, foreign language, some music, sometimes photography, a variety of different classes. Tennessee Promise doesn't pay for study abroad, but we do have scholarships that we set aside specifically for the study abroad program. So most of the trips happen over the summer or right after spring term. And you're usually gone about 2, maybe 3 weeks, depending on the class and depending on the location of the study abroad trip. All right, so if you're starting out, we have lots of students that start out at Pellissippi with as undecided. So our undecided major falls under our exploratory program, which is the General Associates. But if you need assistance picking your major, I know that's a huge decision you have to make. We partner with U-Science. So U-Science is a career assessment tool, and it is a beefy career assessment tool. At the end of U-Science, it will give you your results, and it'll say these are fields that would be a good fit for you. And it also gives you your strengths and your weaknesses. And a lot of, I do recommend if you're working on your resume or if you're getting ready to go for an interview, to take the U-Science assessment. It gives you those power words you can use in that interview that really kind of help set you apart from other candidates. Oh, you can also make an appointment with career development. Might be on the next slide, yes, to go over your U-Science results. So they'll sit down with you and help go over those results with you and help you pick your major. But I mentioned career development at the very beginning, but they have workshops throughout the year, and we have lots of student employment at Pellissippi. This is not part of career development, but it's actually could be part of financial aid or not, depending on the student. But I did want to mention that we do have lots of opportunities for employment. So we have some students qualify for a federal work study. If you do not qualify for federal work study, you could still qualify under the Student Employment Project. And those jobs are all over the campus. They start out at about $14 an hour. And we work around your school schedule. So we have students that work in our office, the Start Strong Center, and we let them, they register for classes first. We know that's their top priority, and then we work around their school schedule. So we know that school is your top priority. And it's a great way to build your resume. All right, so where to start? The Start Strong Center. I've mentioned it several times. Just as a reminder, it's admissions, records, and financial aid all in one office. And our enrollment checklist. So this quickly kind of goes through the steps for enrolling. So the first step is obviously to jump on our website and submit an application. After that, we do need transcripts from high school and college if you've ever attended a college. And the way you submit those transcripts, if it's a high school, I would just, if you're in Knox County, you can use SCORE, which is what most Knox County schools use to send transcripts, is how the counselors send those transcripts. But if you are not a current high school student, you can just call the high school and have them email it to startstrong@pstcc.edu. If you have college transcripts, most colleges use a third-party vendor such as Clearinghouse or Parchment, something like that, and you can just go to their website and search transcripts, and then there's usually a way on their website to order those transcripts. After you've applied, you'll receive an email that says, I think it says in 3 business days. Click on this link to set up your Pellissippi accounts. So your accounts are going to be your My Pellissippi portal, which is where you go to register for classes and see if you have any holds on your account. The other thing is office.com. That's where you're going to go to check your Pellissippi email, and you'll get access to Office 365, where you'll have Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. And then the third thing is Navigate. Navigate is the system that we use to make appointments with the various offices on campus. So the good news is they all use the same email and password. So just that initial setting up that account. Once you have that account set up, then you'll be able to log into all the platforms. All right, number 4, submit test scores or take the entrance exam. So if you are a current high school student, we do need your ACT scores. That's what we use to place you into classes. So we're looking for an 18 in English and a 19 in math and reading for you to start out in college level classes. If your ACT score is more than 5 years old, then it's no longer valid, and we have a test you can take here at Pellissippi called the AccuPlacer. And the AccuPlacer is in reading, writing, and math. And you would need to take the AccuPlacer unless you have college level transfer credit in math and English. So if you are a transfer student coming from another college and you've already taken math and English, you're exempt from submitting scores or from having to take that placement test. Number 5, apply for financial aid. We kind of talked about that on that financial aid slide. That would be your FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid at studentaid.gov. Make sure you're doing the correct year's FAFSA. So the FAFSA is a yearly application. If you're starting this spring of 26, you want to make sure you're doing the 25-26 FAFSA. If you're starting next fall of 26, you'll do the 26-27 FAFSA, and so on and so forth. Okay, step 6 is see an advisor to register for classes. So you do need to make an appointment to meet with an advisor. And again, you'll use Navigate to make that appointment. And if you're starting this spring, registration's already underway, and you can go ahead and make that appointment. If you're having trouble getting an appointment for advising and you're starting in this spring or in January, then I advise you to go to our advising website. So it's our website, pstcc.edu/advising. And that will let you know there's several walk-in days where you don't have to have an appointment. It's first come, first serve. You just show up and then we will get you registered that day. All right, number 7 is orientation. And every student that's degree seeking is required to go to orientation, and you will sign up for that in Navigate as well. And if you're starting in the spring, those will happen in January. If you're starting next fall, they'll happen over the summer, over next summer. The last step is called confirming your attendance. So at Pellissippi, confirming means paying. So that's when your fees are due. For spring semester, I believe that's January 12th, and classes start January 20th. For next fall, we don't have those dates yet. We'll get those early March. But it's usually about the second week in August, fees are due, and classes start around the 20th, around that time. Okay, our contact information, we definitely want you guys to take a picture or screenshot this. You can email us at startstrong@pstcc.edu. Text us. You can chat with us from our admissions page, or you can just call the main number, which is 694-6400. All right, so that is pretty much everything that we have prepared for you. Again, as a reminder, if you have any questions, please put those in the Q&A box. And while we're waiting, Debbie, are there any questions?
There's no questions right now, so we'll just wait to see if any pop up.
Okay.
Here's a question. Could you please confirm the email address again where transcripts need to be sent? It is startstrong@pstcc.edu. So that would
Yes,
be mhm,
that's correct. Yes.
mhm.
Great question. Yes, those will be emailed to us.
There's another question here. How do I get the U-Science assessment? I've created an account with my MyPLSB, but I can't find the assessment.
Oh, that's a good question. Hang on,
That
I
is
have
a
a
great question. So I do know that when you start classes, you will take what is called it's a first year seminar class, it's College 1000. And in all of those classes, students take the assessment in the course, which while you're in there, you'll get a link to it, and you'll be able to log into the account. So if you're not able to get into it now, don't worry about it because you will get into it when you take your College 1000 class.
Yeah, and I wanted to add, I typed it in, but I think I typed it directly, the answer directly, to the student that asked the question. But the website or where you need to go to do U-Science is sign in, all one word, signin.uscience.com. Great question.
All right. Another question is, where do I see a counselor to register for classes? That also is a fantastic question. When you are ready to meet with an advisor, you should get an alert in your MyPellicippi in your alert box that will tell you that registration is now available. And you can go ahead and click on that link, and it will take you to Navigate, which is kind of our third-party vendor that we use for all appointments. And from there, you'll be able to make your advising appointment so that you can come in and register for your classes. Oh,
Do you want me to
sorry, go
take one,
ahead.
Debbie?
Sure.
Okay, so the advising website, if you just go to Pellissippi's website, which is pstcc.edu, just add /advising, and that'll get you to the advising website, or you can search advising from the search box. And it will tell you all the drop-in, or they're called walk-in advising days for spring.
The next one we have is, do I need a FAFSA if I am doing dual enrollment? No, you do not. What you'll fill out is a dual enrollment grant, which you can go to your TSAC student portal, and from there, you'll be able to fill out the form for your dual enrollment grant. A lot of the high schools in the area, they actually have days where someone will come and help you do that, or you can always talk to your counselor at your high school and they can help you fill out that form as well.
Okay. Oh, somebody asked, what time does school start? That's a great question. I know there's classes early. Debbie, do you know, like 7:30? Is that the
I think that's
earliest
the
class?
earliest one. Yeah.
Okay, yes. But you get to create your own schedule. So right now, Pellissippi's on for the most part, a Monday through Thursday school schedule. There are some labs that meet on Fridays, but for the most part, a typical schedule is your classes meet Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. I mean, depending on the class. But yes, you determine your own schedule, but classes start as early as 7:30.
All right. The next question is, are all college AccuPlacers the same? Yes, so as long as it is one that is through College Board, which most, I think, colleges offer that, AccuPlacer test through the same company. So yes, if you have, it's probably the same as what you took at another school. But what you could do is have those scores sent to us and we can always look at it. And if it is the same, we can definitely use those scores. What is it? 5 years, Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they're within that 5 year time period, we can use the scores. If they're older than that, then we wouldn't be able to.
All right. The next one is, how do I log into my MyPellissippi account? Okay, the easiest way, you guys, to get there is to go to Pellissippi's website, and you're going to, at the top, you'll see admissions. Hover your mouse over admissions, scroll down to steps to enroll. And once you get to steps to enroll, go to step 2, and there is a link for you to look up your email, your default password, and your student ID number. And then once you have your email and your default password, then you'll be able to log into your MyPellissippi account.
Great. The next question is, can I get a laptop for my classes? That's a great question. So it kind of depends on if you have any kind of extra or excess money that's left over after your tuition has been paid. So if you have leftover funds from your financial aid, then you can certainly use that money if you need to purchase a laptop. Also, you can always go to the library here at Pellissippi or is it the help desk?
Library.
The
Yeah, the
library.
library, you can
Yeah.
check out.
Yes, and you can check out laptops. So if you are needing one, you can certainly go to our library and check out a laptop. We have some that students can check out during the semester.
Awesome. Okay, do you know when acceptance rejection letters will come out for fall 2026? Okay, that's a great question. We will be mailing out those letters. I think two things. Your admissions file has to be complete, so you have to have submitted your transcripts and ACT scores or have taken the AccuPlacer. Once your admissions file is complete, then you'll receive a formal acceptance letter to the college. That's a great question.
All right. And then next question is, where do I get the scholarship application for extra money? So if you are in your My Pellissippi account, you will look for the box or the little area that says financial aid. When you're in that box, you're going to click on the link that says financial aid forms. When you're in that, once you're in the financial aid forms page, there is one for scholarships, and you'll find the application there, and you could just fill it out online.
Okay. The next question is, they want to start classes spring of 2026. Is it too late to complete the FAFSA? So no, it is not. The financial aid deadline for spring is December 2nd. So you definitely want to do that FAFSA soon, but you have plenty of time. You want your FAFSA and anything else that Pellissippi is requesting from you for financial aid, all of that to be submitted by that financial aid deadline. So the deadline for spring is December 2nd. So yes, you still have time to do that 25-26 FAFSA.
All right. And the next question is, how much is available online? And I would assume you're talking about the classes. So we do have a great deal of classes that are offered online. Not every class that we offer is online, but we do have a lot of our classes, especially our general education classes, that you can do online. So we do have a lot, but not 100% of our classes are offered that way.
Great. And then how much is a parking pass? My favorite question. Our parking is free, which is so awesome. And we have plenty of parking. So you do not have to pay for parking at Pellissippi. You can park anywhere that has O for open parking.
Sarah, you might need to help me with this one. I need to redo my FAFSA. My mom is not willing to help. How can I redo it as an individual?
Okay, so that kind of depends. That's a little difficult situation. It kind of depends on on your situation in particular. There is a dependency override, and I think they've changed the name of it. It may be called a special circumstance. So that form is in your My Pellissippi portal. So what you'd have to do is fill out the FAFSA and say my parent is not willing to. There's something you can put on the FAFSA where you say I'm not giving my parents information, and then you would have to fill out this unusual circumstances or special circumstances form that is in your My Pellissippi under the financial aid box in a little box that says forms, financial aid forms. It is a lengthy process, so you do want to start that sooner than later.
All right, perfect. Is aviation in Knoxville or Maryville? It is in Maryville. It's at our Blount County campus. So yeah, that's where you would have to take your classes.
Okay, and this next question, I do not know the answer to. What time does the bookstore close? They vary their hours weekly. So the best thing to do is to just give us a call or call the bookstore. Go to our website and type in bookstore. That'll take you to the bookstore portion of their website, and they post their hours there. Or you can just call the bookstore and make sure they're open before you come.
All right. The next question is, do I get my student ID through the mail? That is a great question. So what you're going to do for your student ID is you'll need to come to campus to do that. And you can actually go to any of our campuses to get your student ID. You will have to have a photo ID with you, like your driver's license. And then from there, they'll be able to help you get that ID. They'll print it off right there in front of you.
All right. And then, so Pellissippi does have the Hardin Valley campus has a cafeteria. Right now it's open for breakfast and lunch Monday through Thursday because that's our school week is right now Monday through Thursday. We do not have any meal plans and we do not have any dorms, so it's affordable, but it's like almost like a grill. They have hamburgers and pizza and chicken fingers and all kinds of stuff to eat, salads, and they have really good breakfast items. I love their breakfast, but we don't have any meal plans.
The next question is about how to turn in ACT scores. You can do that a couple of different ways. You could ask your high school to send us a copy of your ACT scores when they send over your transcript, or you can go to the ACT website and you can actually request those scores to be sent to us directly from ACT.
All right, these are great questions, you guys. All right, the next question is, will I get my refund on a gift card? No. Each semester, if you have excess aid, then you can set up direct deposit, and they will just deposit that money right into your bank, or they'll just mail a check to you to the address your mailing address that we have on file.
All right. When is the best time to buy my books? So it kind of varies. If you have money that you are able to use in the bookstore from your financial aid, then we do have a bookstore charge period, which you can go and buy your books during that time. Just make sure that you have them before your classes start, so that you kind of know what to expect. But as long as you have them before classes, then that's a good time to get them.
All right, and then this is talking about campus safety. So we do have campus security. They here at Hardin Valley, they're here 24/7. Our campuses, all of our campuses are very safe. We have very little crime or any incidents or anything like that. It is posted on our website though, if you want to look that up specifically. But we have all of our 4 of our campuses are very safe campuses.
All right. Will credits transfer to University of Alabama? That's a fantastic question. It does get a little tricky if you're wanting to transfer out of state. And usually what I advise students to do is if you're thinking about transferring out of state, to go ahead and talk to that university and find out if there's specific classes that they want you to take while you're at Pellissippi. Um, it's hard for us to keep up with all the different colleges around the United States. So anything outside of Tennessee, I would recommend that you go ahead and talk to them and see what they want you to take while you're here.
Yeah. And then back to parking, anywhere that has all the lots are labeled. So anywhere that is not faculty staff, that says O for open parking. And we have plenty of parking, but you do not need to pass. You just have to park unless you're faculty and staff and you're parking in a faculty staff lot. But if you're a student, you'll park in open parking.
All right. Do we have to apply to a certain campus location? No. So when you're filling out your application to Pellissippi, you're applying to Pellissippi, the college. When you get ready to register for your classes, at that point is where you'll kind of pick which campus you're going to, and your advisor will help you make sure that you're getting the classes on whatever campus you plan on attending.
All right. And then is there a discount for taking a class for no credit if I'm retired? That's a tricky question. So on the credit side of the college, if you are 65 or older, you can take a class for free. Debbie, do you remember exactly the specifics, like if they're auditing?
I don't without
Is there
looking at it.
Oh,
I
it's okay.
think
It's
I
okay.
feel like there's different discounts based on your age.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
also there is a non-credit side of the college. It's called Workforce and Community Development. They send out these catalogs that say lifelong learning. Those are always charged. It doesn't matter your age. You have to pay for those classes. But on the credit side of the college, there are discounts, or you can take it for free if you're over 60, 65 or older.
and here's another question about location. Do I choose my location when I set up my portal? You'll choose your location when you register for your classes.
All right. And do you all require shots? I think you're asking about immunizations, I hope. We do not require any specific immunizations. There is a form when you apply that you'll state, I have had my immunizations. I think we asked for hepatitis B, varicella, which is your chicken pox, and MMR. Or you say, I've elected not to have them. We don't have dorms on our campus, so we can be a little bit more flexible with that. And we do not require like proof of shot records or anything like that.
Um, the next question is, why did you all want me to get more paperwork to get my financial stuff done? So sometimes students are randomly picked by the Department of Education, nothing that we do. But the Department of Education randomly picks people to turn in extra documentation. So that's why you were picked. It was something that you were just randomly chosen. So yeah, that's why. I'm sorry.
All right. The next student wants to know, how do I get more information about dual enrollment? On our website, it's our website, pstcc.edu/dual. On that website, there are some videos you can watch. And also there is a link you can click on to make an appointment if you need more information than what the website has. You can make an appointment to meet with one of our dual enrollment coordinators.
All right. And then somebody asked, what time is class over? It kind of really depends on how you set up your schedule. You may have classes that might end, let's say, at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So it really depends on how you have your schedule set up. But the last class of the days, they're typically run until about 9 o'clock at night. So that's how late their classes are here, but you don't have to take classes that late. You can have your schedule end, in the afternoon and have the rest of the day off.
Okay, and do we offer animal science for UT transfer? Yes, I believe we do. That's a transfer pathway. I believe it's an Associate of Science.
Where is the help desk number? I'm going to type it in here, but the help desk number is 865-694-6537.
Okay, and then a couple more questions. These are great, you guys. Keep them coming. Where can I find who my advisor is? So your first semester, you go to open advising or general advising. That's all full-time advisors that year-round. What they do is advise students. So after that first semester, you're assigned an advisor, and that will show up in the upper right-hand corner of your My Pellissippi portal.
Okay, we have another parking question. So yes, as long as you do not park in the staff parking lot, you are good.
Okay, and the last question, you guys, for right now, when do I submit my financial aid? So we have different deadlines depending on when you're starting. So if you're starting this coming January, classes start January 20th. The financial aid deadline is December 2nd. So you would need to do that FAFSA now or sometime in November. It does take about a week for us to get that, to receive that FAFSA. Also, by that financial aid deadline, which is December 2nd, if we're requesting any information from you, that has to be turned in by that deadline. It doesn't have to, it's the priority deadline. So if you want your money in your account so you can pay your fees when fees are due, then you want to meet that financial aid deadline. For next fall, the financial aid deadline is typically July 1st.
All right. We have another question. Can I get stuff from the pantry before my classes start? Do you know, Sarah, at what point students can start getting stuff from the pantry?
Ooh, that's a great question. I do not know that off the top of my head. I just know that the first step is to get into your My Pellissippi and fill out that pantry application. Um, and then I would just reach out to them. They're very reactive, so reach
Yes.
out to them. I'm so sorry, I don't know that off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't either.
All right, and then when do classes start? So we don't have dates yet for next fall of 26, but classes for January start January 20th.
How can I get my Navigate login? Your Navigate login is the same as your My Pellissippi login and your Pellissippi email. So it's all the same login.
Yeah, and if you guys are having trouble logging in, reach out to the help desk. Again, that number is 865-694-6537. I'm going to grab this financial aid one, Debbie.
Okay.
If I'm starting in January, it is very confusing. So if you're starting in January, you want to do the 25-26 FAFSA. The 2026-2027 FAFSA form is for next fall and next spring. So if you're starting this January, do the 2025-2026 FAFSA.
All right. And then someone had asked about their Brightspace courses. If you're registered for classes that start in January, they may not be loaded yet. I don't know at what point they load those, but if you don't see them, it may just be that they haven't been loaded into your Brightspace account yet. So maybe just keep an eye on that, and they should pop up before classes start.
Awesome. And then we have one more. We'll take one more question. If you guys still have questions, please reach out to us via phone or email or chat or any of the ways. Let's see if I can go back on this presentation real quick. Yeah, our contact information. But this last person is asking, where do I check in when I arrive? If you are coming to school to take classes. You don't have to check in. You just go straight to your class. If you don't know where to go to the Goins Administration Building. And that faces the visitor parking lot, and that is where the Start Strong Center is. As soon as you walk into that building, you'll see a counter on your right. Check in there, and they can help you get to wherever you need to be. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining.